The thing is, guys, like tomorrow I'll have a flight from Hanoi to Da Nang City, and I'm really excited for that competition. I probably talk about that at the previous lesson, and I think that this way we will have no assignments and homework probably because I'll have to take part in that competition, and I wouldn't have time to design the homework. So yeah. Anyway, so let me share the screen because today we don't do anything much, just gonna recap some of the previous lessons we've learned at the previous weeks. And yeah, so let me just share the screen. Okay. So can you guys see the screen now?
Yes.
Thank you. Alright, so today we're gonna do a quick recap. So there's no overwhelming knowledge to learn about, and we just do like a quick review and a summary of what we've obtained in the previous lessons about. In case you don't remember, I'm just gonna repeat it again, which is about plants and human beings. So about plants, we've learned four concepts about plants, which is first, we look more into the plant cell, about the photosynthesis, plants' important role and reproduction techniques. So I'm just gonna explain a little bit in case you already forgot about all these concepts. So I'm just gonna quickly go through the slides I've designed. Where is it? Probably this slide. No, it's actually no, it's the introduction of the science. What I'm looking for is the cell slice. Where is it? Oh my god, I've discovered that I probably have accidentally deleted it, but you know what, never mind, I'm just gonna explain it in my own words. So um where's the main slide? So confusing. I'm so sorry for this because I haven't prepared anything for a class because recently I've been vigorously preparing for the debate competition tomorrow, and yeah. Wait a minute, I'm just gonna restart this here. Alright, so I'm just quickly go through all the concepts here and then we'll move on to human beings. So, what exactly is plant cell? Plant cell is basically the building block of all living organisms. Like, for example, let's just visualize that cell is the building block and the brick of a building. It's just the foundation for every upcoming important steps, such as you need brick in order to build the walls and then create a whole brand new buildings, right? So that is the resemblance between plant cell and the building block. So I've also gone through all the important or the organelles inside the plant cell, which I'm just gonna do a quick research about this here. Plant organelles, and show you guys some pictures so that you can better visualize and memorize it, because apparently our brain tend to remember pictures much better compared to remembering words. So here, let's just take this picture, or is it blurry? Oh, there you go, it's fine now. Anyway, so here's the plant cell, and if you can recall all the information I've explained to you guys like 2 lessons ago, of course, here's three the most important organelles inside a plant cell. First, we have this surrounding of a plant cell, which is obviously the cell membrane. Oh, I have to accept this student here. Alright. So, I'm talking about this plant cell organisms and some important stuff inside this. So first, if you can notice and pay attention to this, we have a thin layer outside this plant cell, the greenest one. This is called the cell membrane and act as a protection for the plant cell. It's like a gate of a house, as I've explained and made some comparisons. like it will let things and let activities go and out, let all these organelles to get out of the cell and then get in. And then we have this let's see, this circular stuff right here, have the purple stuff. It is the nucleus, and nucleus I think is the most important, the most imperative component that making up the plant cell, because nucleus is in charge of controlling every single activities of the cell. And additionally, nucleus also contains the genetic information, which is the inheritances and the genes that the plant cell will pass on its offsprings or on its upcoming generations. So that's the importance of nucleus. It's really important. First, you have to memorize two functions of nucleus. First is obviously to control every single activities and to maintain the balance of the cells between these different activities inside the cell, such as producing proteins or to carrying out photosynthesis, right? Which I will definitely go more in depth in this video, in this lesson. And then the second function of the cell, which is to containing and to preserving the genetic information of the cell. So that's the nucleus. And then we have another also really important components of a cell, which I've explained tons of time. It is the chloroplast. So in case you don't remember, I'm just gonna revise again. Chloroplast basically is the component where the photosynthesis will occur inside this chloroplast, and the cells, the molecules into the chloroplast, the photosynthesis will happen there. And what is photosynthesis, you may wonder again. So photosynthesis is basically the process in which plants will convert the environmental factors or environmental influences such as sunlight and carbon dioxide into its sunlight and oxygen, and then water, of course, the three most components contributing to the photosynthesis process, and convert them into the essential nutrients to maintain the cell survival or the plant survival. And the byproducts of the photosynthesis process is oxygen, which will contribute to the human beings and animal survival because we need oxygen to breathe, right? And then also a sugar form of glucose, which is essential to harboring the plant cell life. So that's the chloroplast, and the three most important components, as I've stressing and overemphasizing again and again. So remember, the cell membrane is the protection. The nucleus is like the control center of the whole cell, to responsible for every single activities. And then we have the chloroplast, which is the photosynthesis and where the life survival process of the cell occur. And then we have some additional organelles, which I think that don't matter that much, but we're just gonna quickly go through it anyway. So first we have this ribosomes. Let me just do some research because I think it's kind of complicating to remember all of those functions. So I'm just gonna wait a minute, let me just accept this student coming here. Alright, so let me just click on this website. There we go. We have central vacuole. I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but let me check it.
Vacuole.
Hello.
Hi. So we're explaining some kind of like concepts we've learned the previous lessons. So I hope that you can keep track on this lesson better. You can rewatch the recording after this lesson. I'm just gonna send it to you guys. But anyway, I'm talking about this central vacuole. So here's the explanation of central vacuole. I'm just gonna read out loud for you guys. It occupies around 30% of the cell's volume in a mature plant cell. So let me just show you guys again the picture of the vacuole in case you cannot recall it. So you see that jelly, and that the biggest proportion of the plant cell, the blue one, this is actually vacuole. And as the information here provides with us, it actually accounts and constitutes for approximately 30% of a mature plant cell. A mature means that a plant cell that has already reached its maximum growth, like it's already reached the adulthood and not the infant stage anymore. Tonoplast is a membrane that surrounds the central vacuole. I think it is oh wait, you don't have to pay attention to this one. It's actually not presenting here on this picture, so I think it's not important. The vital function of the central vacuole, apart from the storage, is to sustain turgor pressure against the cell wall. So the key word here is storage, because as I can recall pretty well, if I'm not mistaken, vacuole is also responsible for storing the water and other essential proteins and foods for the whole plant cell, apart from the chloroplast, again mispronouncing, chloroplast, which is responsible for photosynthesis. Then vacuole is responsible for storing the food after the chloroplast process. So that's the function of the vacuole. And here we have the sustained turgor pressure against the cell wall. So I'm wondering what exactly is turgor, because I've never encountered this before. I'm just gonna do a quick research about this. So here, this is the pressure exerted by fluid in a cell that presses the cell membrane against the cell wall. Turgor is what makes living plant tissue rigid. Okay, so I think turgor is like the skeleton and the framework of the whole plant cell to make it become rigid and to become hard enough to sustain life. Alright. The central vacuole consists of cell sap. It is a mixture of salts, enzymes, and other substances. So basically, this vacuole is really jelly-like, and it's really contains a lot of components like salt and enzymes, as presented in this explanation I've just told you guys about. And then we have Golgi apparatus. So Golgi apparatus is apparently this orange ones here. It's look like, I don't know, some lines that are parallel with each other. It's not the parallel, but whatever. It's this orange components right here at the bottom left of the presentation of the plant cell. So let's see what is the function of Golgi apparatus. I hope I didn't mispronounce it. So here, they're found in all eukaryotic cells. Okay, so we have a very unfamiliar concept here you may not know about. It is eukaryotic cells. So since I know how to simplify it in my own words, I'm just gonna research it. So here's the eukaryote. It's basically the cell. Here, organisms whose cells have a nucleus. Basically, any cell that have a nucleus at the central of its organisms is basically the eukaryote. And here's the 3D picture of this cell in case you're wondering. Alright, wait a minute, I think it's more convenient because we're just gonna click on any given object here and it will have a function, which I think is absolutely amazing. So I'm just gonna use this for the demonstration of the plant cell anyway. So yeah, it looks much engaging and captivating compared to this picture. So I'm just gonna using this. What a magnificent discovery, isn't it? Alright, so first we have nucleus. We already known about that, so I'm just gonna skip this. We have this blue thing surrounding the nucleus, as you can see here. Let's see what it is. It's the ribosomes. But you know what? I'm just gonna explaining a little bit about Golgi apparatus because this is what we're focusing on, right? When no need to be distracted. So here, the function of Golgi apparatus is to receive proteins synthesized the ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum via transport vesicles. Okay, so this is a little bit complicating, but I'm just gonna do some quick research about this. Golgi. Here, it is like a factory in which proteins received from the ER are further processed and sorted for transport to their eventual destinations. Lysosomes, the plasma membrane, or so annoying today, or secretion. So lysosomes, the plasma membrane or secretion, is basically all the brain, the body's organisms besides cell, which I would definitely explain much in detail later in this video, because I remember this is about human beings, organs and tissue, stuff like that. Especially secretion is the process where we dispose our waste, right? But it's kind of like a little bit sensitive, so I'm not talking more about this. It's basically our waste disposal. So that's that. And it's basically just need to memorize that Golgi apparatus is responsible for processing and for categorizing proteins received from other organelles. So yeah, that's the Golgi apparatus. And then next up we have, how can I see the overall picture? Alright. Next, let's see. You see that sausage resemblance picture there? Like these red thing stuff. Let's see what it is. It is mitochondria. So I think that I am passionate and really captivated with this thing first, like most in this organelles, because first it really is similar to the sausages, which is my favorite food in the entire world, and second, I think the function of it is quite interesting to learn about. So basically, mitochondria are membrane-bound organelles located in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells. So what is cytoplasm? Let me just show you guys quickly how we say it. Here, the cytoplasm is the fluid that's surrounding the whole organelles. It's like the jelly-like fluid. How can I show you guys this picture? Here. Today I'm just depending a lot on the internet because I haven't prepared anything for our slide today. I think just a recap. But apparently I lost my slides. I didn't double check it, so I'm just gonna relying on the internet resources to learn today. So cytoplasm is the orange thing here, the fluid things here that are surrounding the whole organelles, and basically I think it's just to holding the organelles position, to hold it in the place. I think that's the function of cytoplasm. But yeah, let's focus on the mitochondria. So that's that. Each mitochondrion consists of an outer membrane and an inner membrane with a space between them called the inner membrane space. I think this detail is not that important, so we're just gonna skip it. So here's the function. Mitochondria generate, oh my god, this is literally a specialized terminology. This is adenosine triphosphate, I know, ATP, the cell's main source of energy via aerobic respiration, and as a result, they're known as the power plants of the cell. Alright, so mitochondria is considered the power plants of the cell, and when when collaborating with another organelles, mitochondria is also act as a producer responsible for producing energy and proteins for the whole cell. So yeah, most of them are just responsible for producing energy and stuff like that, for generating materials and resources to maintain the cell survival. So that's the mitochondria. Just not gonna go too much about this. Not it's doesn't that important compared to other components, so I'm just gonna quickly go through this. Next we have ribosomes. Wow. This blue stuff right here is actually called ribosomes. So what exactly is ribosomes? Ribosomes in the cells contain a large number of small organelles called ribosomes. Was a little bit ridiculous, because organelles, like the small organelles containing in this ribosomes, also called ribosomes. So ribosomes are made mostly of rRNA, which is the abbreviation for ribosomal ribonucleic acid. The primary function of ribosomes is protein synthesis. So as the information has suggested, ribosome is responsible for synthesizing proteins, which I think all of the non-essential organelles are really confusing and complicated for some reasons, because it's all has something to do with proteins and with energy production, which I think is a little bit confusing for me to differentiate and to categorize them depending on the functions, right? Because they're just so similar in terms of functions about protein production. So basically, ribosomes also responsible for synthesizing proteins, which is basically to categorizing and to kind of like filtering the proteins from other resources. So that is the specialized function of ribosomes. And then next up, let's see what we got here. We have this green things right there. I don't know how to express it, but as you can see on this picture, this green thing. Let's see, what is this? This is Golgi apparatus. Oh, wait a minute. I did go through this, right? Yes. Sorry for that. Alright, so let's see. We have this Y stuff, like the network of the whole cell. I know it's really resembles to the neurons of our human brains, of our um what is this? The neural system. But whatever, let's just see what it is. It is the vesicles. I suggest supposedly say that, but let me see the pronunciation. I'm so sorry for that misunderstanding. Vesicle.
Vesicle.
Yes, I'm totally mispronounced it. It is actually vesicle, right?
Vesicle.
Yes, vesicle. So vesicle is a transport vehicles fused with and arise from the edges of the Golgi body's cisternae. Whatever, I'm just not gonna pay attention to that because I think it is the terminology. So yeah, what is the function? The function of vesicles is to transport. Vesicles can carry fully processed proteins. Again, there's always something to do with proteins, which I think is absolutely frustrating to categorize this depending on the functions, as I've told you earlier. So I think that all of these things have some relationship with proteins, with energy production, and with synthesis, stuff like that. But anyway, with that being said, I'm just gonna read out loud this definition. So yeah, transport vesicles can fully process proteins throughout the cell or to the plasma membrane for export. So basically, these vesicles is also responsible for producing proteins to exporting to the outside cell. Like for example, inside the I think this is the actually the human cell, not the plant cell, because I don't see any demonstration of what is the right word? Chloroplast? Yes. We don't have the thing that is responsible for occurring or
Can
making.
I say you something?
Oh,
Can I say something?
yes. What is it?
Can you return to the slide, the 3D model?
Oh, yes. Here.
It does it eukaryote, and the one you searched is eukaryotic. It has a different name.
Uh-huh. Oh my god, the pronunciation is so troublesome. Like, yeah, but
Eukaryotic and yolk.
thank you for providing that. I really appreciate that. But anyway, so as I'm talking, I forgot the name again. But yeah, so because the pronunciation is kind of hard to pronounce, so I'm just gonna quickly go through the function of it. Because I think the reason why I think this is the human body cell rather than a plant cell is because I don't see the chloroplast. I recall it now, the chloroplast, which is responsible for photosynthesis and for the plant survival. So I think this is the human body cell, but I think there's just like a slight difference between plant cell and the human cell apart from the chloroplast. I think all of them are resembles here. So yeah, that is the vesicles, whatever the thing is. Yes, I think that's pretty much about the cell, about the human cell and the plant cell. But in this case, it is the human body cell. So yeah, that's that. And let's move on to the next concept, which is photosynthesis. I'm really interested in actually explaining it again because I'm really captivated and really mesmerized with the photosynthesis process. It's just how amazing the plants actually produce its own energy rather than humans' intervention or outside assistance. So, as I've told you at some point in this lesson, photosynthesis is actually the process which plant would convert the plant conversion of sunlight, water, and oxygen into, no, it's not oxygen, right? It's actually carbon dioxide, water, and wait a minute, why I always mess things up? Okay, so let me just recall again. So sorry for that. So it's obviously first oxygen and then water and then sunlight. There we go. So the plant will use the photosynthesis process to convert all those materials into the byproducts, which one of them is really essential for our survival, oxygen, because as one estimate has already pointed out, that the photosynthesis process or the plants are responsible for 20% of all the oxygen supply, and therefore plants are considered the lung of our planet, right? So, and another product from the photosynthesis process is the glucose, which is also supports the plant survival. So the photosynthesis, it's actually not that complicating or that challenging to comprehend. You can watch tons of videos out there about photosynthesis and take a closer look about the photosynthesis process. So I'm just gonna do a quick research about this and send you guys some links in case you're interested in learning more about the photosynthesis. I remember that I did have a video of I don't remember anymore, but yes, of a Peekaboo Kids of this video about photosynthesis, and you guys already watched this, so I'm just gonna do another or send you guys another video about photosynthesis in case you're interested in watching later on, but we're not watching it right now because I will have to like go through a lot of concepts today. So yeah, for example, this video. Alright, so the advertisement, let me see the whether or not it's actually appropriate.
Recall that visible light has different wavelengths, and
Oh, apparently it's really comprehensible and really suitable for you guys level, so I'm just gonna share you guys this link. I really love the narrators though, because the way that the authors express the opinions and the photosynthesis. I already watched this video, and yeah, it's really comprehensible and really engaging to understand through all the illustrations and the diagrams here too. So let me just send you guys this video in case you're interested. Alright, so yeah, please save it for later watching, whatever. So let's move on to the next concept, which is plants' important roles. So I think the plants literally play a vital role in our, ecosystem, our habitats, and so much more. For example, plants are essential to, providing shelters for a lot of species out there, especially species that are living on plants, obviously, such as squirrels or monkeys and apes or chimpanzees. Plants are literally the ultimate habitats to live in and to survive on. And then what else? Obviously, plants, through the process of photosynthesis, also produce oxygen, right? And contribute to our survival and to human development, human civilization development, because thanks to oxygen supply from plants, we are able and capable of living and of being who we are, right? And then we also have another function of plants, which is to stabilizing and to balancing our ecosystem. Because if you can relate this photosynthesis process to the environmental problems such as climate change or air pollution, you may pay attention that plants will actually absorb carbon dioxide and then produce oxygen, right? And carbon dioxide is the primary contributor to climate change and, to many serious environmental problems such as air pollution or contaminating air sources. So by absorbing carbon dioxide, you can plants can significantly reduce the number of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and therefore climate change will not be worsening or will not be intensifying anymore. So yeah, and plants also help to refreshen the air quality and to make it become more suitable and appropriate for all living organisms' survival. So that's some plants' important roles I can come up with right now. And yeah, you can do more research about this certainly on the internet. There's a lot of resources and articles mentioning about the plant's roles and stuff like that. So definitely search for more information if you're interested in that. So now let's come to another, I think is a little bit, captivating concept: reproduction techniques. So as the previous lessons, we've already gone through some reproduction techniques of plants, which is seed dispersal and pollination. Oh wait a minute, I have to take a sip of water because I'm so thirsty now. Okay, excuse me for that. So I'm talking about the reproduction techniques of plants, which are, let me just repeat again: seed dispersal and pollination. So pollination is the act of pollinators. Pollinators can be humans, or it can be insects and flying animals such as butterflies, stuff like that, or bees that can actually transfer the female squirms or the female like components to the male components, and then fertilization will happen and then offsprings will be produced. So that's the pollination. And then we also have another reproduction technique of the plant, which is seed dispersal. So there is an inevitable demonstration of this seed dispersal, which I would definitely show you guys some picture of this because it's kind of hard and difficult to imagine this. I'm just merely talking to you guys about this without showing you guys any pictures. So seed dispersal, there you go. 7 billion brilliant ways that seeds and fruits are dispersed. So you have to memorize that seed dispersal is not only happening on land, but it also happening at the bottom of the sea too, which I think is new knowledge to me and so amazing. So let's read this together. I'm just gonna simplify the words a little bit. So in the middle of the process. So coastal plants are generally very tolerant of salt water, and some are adapted to utilizing their watery habitat as a means of moving the seeds. So some new words here actually. First we have tolerant. Tolerant, basically we have this app, this very cool app I've just installed a few days ago, and it's so useful and brilliant. Like, this app is specifically for looking up new words, which I think is absolutely convenient for me, but because whenever I'm just gonna double click this, there will be a icon of this elephant, and if I click on this, there will be some information about this word, about the pronunciation, and about the level of this word, like C1 or C2 or intermediate, whatever. And then we have a short explanation of this word, which is showing tolerance, and of course an example here too. So basically tolerant means showing tolerance, but I think it doesn't make sense here in this case because plants cannot show sympathy, right? So let's just refer to this English explanation, which I think is a more detailed explanation because it's more wordy and more well explained. Here, I think this one make more sense because of a plant able to endure specific conditions, specified conditions or treatment. So tolerant means that this plant is really resilient, that the plants can actually cope with numerous habitats and a lot of challenging environmental conditions. So here, coastal plants are adapted to utilizing their habitat to disperse their own seeds. So really brilliant, isn't it? So that's the coastal plants, which is gonna read a few sentences at the beginning of each paragraph. And then we have explosive. Of course, it's not any plant, any particular plant, just an adjective to maybe to express this whole paragraph, whatever. But let's see. Incredibly, a number of plant species utilize explosive force to fling the seeds away. Oh, well, so interesting. Let's see. Many mistletoes. Mistletoes, basically, I think is some specific plant out there. but I think it doesn't matter too much for me. I'm just gonna learn the concept. Have explosive fruit with sticky seeds to hopefully propel the parasitic offspring high into neighboring trees. The sandbox tree, native to tropical America, has exploding capsules that can launch seeds up to 100 meters away with speeds of up to 70 meters per second. People have been injured by the force of those seeds, and the sound of the explosion can be heard echoing through the forest. Some types of exploding fruit, such as squirting cucumber, like in this picture, utilize built up water pressure to expel the seeds, while others, such as certain violets, employ the tension from the drying foods to fling the offspring away. Alright, really incredibly amazing. Basically, it's just like the plant will use the explosive components to send the seeds far, far away. I think it's absolutely captivating too. And then we have this digested. Alright, so you can read the rest of this article about more of the way that plants and fruits and seeds use to disperse their own components. So I'm just gonna send this link of article here in case you're interested in finding more about this. So what is the app's name? Oh, thank you for asking. Let me just this apparently the app that you're asking for vocabulary definition, right? Yeah, I think that's that. It is actually Yola Lexus. So it's not relevant to the lesson, but I'm gonna show you guys the way that you can install this app into your browser. So basically you go to Google extension, because I think this app is incredibly helpful for me to obtain new words. It's really convenient when you're reading some articles or some scientific, essays, and you stumble upon some words, you absolutely have no idea what's going on or what the definition is. Then install this app saves you tons of time to, look up words in another dictionary sources. So go to Google extensions like this, just click on it and then search the store for this keyword, Lola Yexus. I hope that's the pronunciation is accurate. Oh, wait a minute, where does it exist anymore? I'm sorry, it's actually Yola Lexus. Some kind of mispronounced it a little bit. So I think this app, this one, Yola Lexus extension, and then I already installed it in my platform, so I don't need to do that anymore. You can see that there's some overview of this app here, which can help you to instantly look up and translate text. It's not only about word definition, but also about text translation too. Like you will shade the whole paragraph and then click on this icon. It will automatically translate into the targeted language you have chosen before. So let's say, for example, I'm just gonna change it into Vietnamese. I think if this paragraph doesn't make sense to you, then translate into Vietnamese will save you a lot of time. You can actually understand it better. So here's the Vietnamese translation. So yeah, that's the app. And then you can also watch Netflix and YouTube video with subtitles with this. This is the extension and the function of Yola Lexus I love most about this. So I think I'm gonna share you guys, because I think installing this website is absolutely highly recommended and really, really amazing. Absolutely fantastic. So for example, if I'm randomly watching a video, say TED. Let's see the newest video here, like Warriors, the rise and fall of Italy's Warriors for hire. So really interesting about history. And then you turn off, when you install the app, you will see this icon of an elephant, maybe dozing off here, and if you click on it and then you turn on the extension, the elephant will automatically change the mood, which I think is absolutely adorable, isn't it? And then you turn it on, and then
soldiers as
for example, if you're watching this video, you'll both have the Vietnamese translation here, which I think is not that beneficial in terms of learning languages, because I want you guys to immerse yourself 100% into the languages without watching the Vietnamese subtitles. But apart from that, you can actually look up the new words while watching videos too. So, like, for example, if you don't know the definition of this word, like operation, click on it, and then you will have this definition. You have both the Vietnamese definition here and the English definition, and you can even uh, like, how do we say it, to save this new word for later revision into your own browser. So absolutely fascinating, isn't it? So yeah, that's another function of your Lexus. You can definitely download it from the Google extension, I guess. So I'm just gonna the evening at 9 o'clock, I watched the video in TED in Zoom and write without subtitles. It's very hard. Yes, I think I think that TED Ed is specialized in academic videos, which I think incorporate a lot of academic words and the concepts. I think are more appropriate for, you know, I mean, secondary.
Teacher,
Yes.
what is that act?
Oh yes, I'm about to type it on, but let me just finish answering this answer or this chat, whatever. But I'm talking about that TED is really specialized in providing knowledge, which I think is absolutely beneficial for you guys if you are interested in any particular field. It doesn't matter, it can be science, climate, or even history or math. Just go to TED and definitely a wide variety of different topics there. But sometimes the topic is a little bit abstract and really complicating to understand, but it's completely fine. You can use this app to look at the Vietnamese translation and comprehend the resources much better. So yeah, this app is YOLO Lexus. As I've just typed on there, you can see it on the screen. So that's a little bit of my recommendation. If you're struggling with vocabulary learning, then definitely download this app. It can help you a lot. Right, so yeah. Let's come back to our main point. I think I'm just talking too much about this website. I've just literally so in all about I really want to share with you guys in case you are want to learn more about definition, about the words look up and stuff like that. Alright, so anyway, so that's all about the plans stuff. Now let's move on to another important concept that we've learned the previous week, which is human body. So if you can recap, I did I think that I did have the slides of this website, so it will help me a lot. I will save my time of coming up with, explanations. Where is it? Here, week 3 human body. So let's see which one is important worth mentioning here. Alright, so I do mention a very complicating concepts, but I do resemble it to a much easier example, which is levels of organization inside human body. So let's just imagine this scenario again. We have the bricks, which is the materials, the primary materials in order to build a building, right? To create a building, and then thanks to these bricks we can create a wall, which is the framework of a building, and then a building is created after multiple walls are customized and are published, and then numerous buildings will create what? A whole city, which is overcrowded with multiple skyscrapers and buildings of different types. So this diagram also really similar to the diagrams of our human body, which is cell. So imagine cell, or you can actually relate cell to the bricks, which also numerous cells that have the same functions, the same characteristics can actually make up tissues. So we have brain tissues, we have lung tissues, blah blah blah. And the numerous tissues, of course, have the similar and the specialized functions that are working together will create an organ. So, for example, our heart is an organ that is incorporating and making up from numerous heart tissues, right? Because these tissues have the same functions and the same characteristics that making up the heart, or the same goes with brain and stuff like that. And then last but not least, we have an organ system. So an organ system is actually how to express it. It's like a combination of different organs that can perform or execute a specialized and a specific task, that overall numerous organ systems can actually help our life and make our survival much realistic, right? Because thanks to all the organ systems together collaborate and to sustain our very survival, we can actually live and yeah, reproduce, of course. So we do take a closer look at all the organ systems that I think are essential in human body. And I remember that I did make a mind map about this whole thing, which I think you guys can actually refer to if you want to learn more and you want to recap or just recall all the information you've previously learned and obtained in the previous lesson. So I'm just gonna go quickly through that, which is what is it? Mind map. I'm actually forget the name of that here.
Mind maze.
Oh, thanks for that reminder. So in my master, just gonna stay basic. I forgot to log in to here. I didn't make a whole mind map that is really succinct and contains a lot of important details about the human systems. So basically, total we have 10. We have 10 in total of the human systems. First, start with the skeletal system, which is obviously the rigid framework that protects our cell from the environmental and external influences. For example, if we are getting injured from maybe an accident or stuff like that, skeletal is act as a protection from that external influences and protect our soft tissued organs such as heart and then brain to prevent further injuries and bruises or even severe damage. So that's the skeletal system. I think that you guys pretty much familiar with this concept, so I'm not gonna going too much in depth about this. And then we have muscular system. So muscular systems often will collaborate and works and combines together with the skeletal system, or in specific words, with bones and tissues, which are obviously responsible for movement support or locomotion, which in other words can incorporate running or walking to expressing facial expressions like disappointment or happiness, because muscles on our face also responsible for changing and to expressing our current moods. Like when we're disappointed, we will have certain standards or certain ways to express our disappointment. Or maybe just imagine that when you are happy, when you're ecstatic of something, your eyes will lead up and your muscle at the hand will just rise up and down because you are so excited and you are just so enthusiastic about something. So that's the muscular system. And then we have nervous system too. Nervous system, I think, is one of my favorite systems of the entire human systems. Why is that? Because nervous system is like brain or the spinal cord, is also the regulatory center of our body, which I think is a fancy term for the control center of our body. So I think that the nervous system is just really similar to the nucleus inside the cell, which is both of them have these similarities that they are responsible for controlling activities, and this is the regulatory center, of course. But nervous system is absolutely different from the nucleus in terms of processing information, memorization, and sending signals to different human systems to respond to the environmental influences, right? So nervous system, like unlike nucleus, can actually be more active and more respondent to the environmental influences. So that's nervous system. And nervous system is also responsible for our learning process too. For example, if you're listening to me explaining stuff right now, you have to use your brain power to understand what I'm talking about, right? And without the brain, then what I'm talking about just doesn't make sense. So definitely imperative to learn more about the nervous system. And then we have the endocrine system, which I do say and I do emphasize a little bit that this one is kind of really complicating and really challenging to actually comprehend all the concepts within this range, within this concept, endocrine system. Yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly go through all the important human systems, but I really want to say that all the human systems here are important, are equally important, but some of them are more inferior, are more superior and more complicated than the others. So it takes time and effort to truly understand and grasp what's going on in that particular system. So I'm not devoting the whole lesson just to explaining the whole things about the human systems. I'm just gonna quickly go through the whole concepts, the bigger picture, of course. So you can definitely do more research about the endocrine system, but basically it is actually uses the hormones to control and coordinate your body's metabolism, energy level, reproduction, growth and development, and response to injury, stress, and mood. So I did have a very detailed explanation about the endocrine system in the previous video. You can rewatch this if you like. But yeah, it's basically responsible for our mood changes, our mood transformations. So I have a very vivid example to demonstrate this system, the importance of it in our human life. So when you're experiencing puberty or the transformation from childhood to adulthood, like the teenager's process, then the mood is really unstable and is never stay the same at any given time. Like when you're reading book or when you're doing any other task, like you're performing your own performances, you're happy, but the next thing you knew, you are suddenly depressed for no reasons. This is the responsibility of endocrine system, because at that time endocrine system is exponentially growing. And yeah, so sometimes you can experience mood swings unexpectedly. Then don't worry, because this is a very normal symptom that you are experiencing puberty. So yeah, that's the endocrine system. And then we have the cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system, well, the word might sound a little bit wordy, whatever. Yeah, it's kind of like challenging to actually break this down into the word, into smaller chunks to explain to you guys and to simplify it. But basically, cardiovascular system is a systems combined with our heart and blood vessels that are in charge of circulating the blood to transferring the blood to the whole human organs to sustain life, because our human organs also need blood and other nutrients to sustain its own functions, right? And the cardiovascular system is not only in charge of circulating the blood, but also in charge of transporting all the essential nutrients inside a human body, such as oxygen, water, and nutrients we've absorbed from the food that we are consuming every single day to all the parts of our human body. And also, of course, the heart and the cardiovascular system overall will also responsible for pumping blood throughout the whole body to sustain life. So that's cardiovascular system. And then we have the respiratory system. So respiratory system, which is another fancy term to expressing the action or the activity of taking in carbon dioxide, taking in oxygen and then pushing out the carbon dioxide, which is the byproduct of the respiratory concept. Basically, it is the exchange between carbon dioxide with oxygen to sustain our survival and growth. So we have these concepts a little bit complicating. I'm so sorry because I'm just too lethargic to even write the complete word, but basically carbon dioxide. CO2 is the abbreviation of carbon dioxide in terms of the chemical symbols. You'll learn more about this when you are exposing yourself to the chemical concepts. So yeah, that is basically the our lungs will pumps up and pumps out, and we inhale the oxygen and then exhale all the waste and the byproducts of this whole respiratory system, or the respiration, which is carbon dioxide. And the respiratory system is really similar to that of the photosynthesis. But the photosynthesis and human respiration system is absolutely contradictory, and it is not similar to each other, because photosynthesis will take in carbon dioxide and will release oxygen into the atmosphere. But on the other hand, human would take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. So human and plants will support each other's survival, right? That is the relationship and the correlation between human survival and the plant survival that really worth learning more. That's just show how fascinating and how amazing our ecosystem and our interactions with the plants and with our environment, right? So that's the respiratory system. And then we have lymphatic system. So I actually had two detailed and really well written explanations here. I hope you guys feel the same way about this, about the lymphatic system. So here is the first explanation about this. Let me just explain further more detail. So lymphatic system is a network of tissues, vessels, and organs that work together to move a colorless, watery fluid called lymph back into your circulatory system, your bloodstream. Alright, so you may wonder a little bit, what exactly is the colorless and watery fluid mentioned here? Or what exactly is a lymph? Okay, so let me just do a little bit quick research, because I think it's kind of hard and ununderstandable a little bit, but let me see. Lymph is a clear to white fluid made of. Oh, wait a minute. As long as I remembered, actually, lymphatic system has another term, which is, what is it? The human system. Yes, the human system. And the human system is responsible for attacking the outside viruses or illnesses. For example, if you have an injury, even though that's a small injury, and then all the bacteria and all the germs on the atmosphere will definitely find an effective way to attack your body from that bruise, from that injury. And then your brain will actually send signals to this human system or the lymphatic system, and they will send multiple other attackers and a lot of white blood cells or stuff like that, in order to attack and to eliminate all those defenders. So definitely amazing. I've just remembered that. Here's the functions of the lymphatic system. So besides attacking the outside or the external influences or the viruses, so that our body never gets sick. Of course, we can never get sick. At some points, we will come down with cold, with some illnesses, but most of the time, when you have injury, our body fascinating machine will actually protect ourselves from getting down with further severe illnesses. But anyway, besides that, we also have another functions too, which is to facilitating the absorption of dietary or nutritional food, or even to maintain the food balance. So there's also some relationship between lymphatic system and the food absorption too, to make things easier, of course. And then we have digestive system. As the name may suggest, it is obviously to process food and to break down all the nutritions we absorb from our food, our diets, and to break it down so that our bodies can easily absorb and utilize those nutrients and the vitamins to replenish energy and support our continuous survival, our continuous growth. So, digestive system including intestines and liver, which are responsible for categorizing food, and waste, which is for later disposal. So yeah, it is basically to breaking down our food and to categorizing which one is worth absorbing, which one is worth actually eating and doing wonders for our survival. So that is the digestive system, and then we have the urinary system. Okay, so this is to get rid of unwanted substances and waste products. Excretion. Sorry. So waste products I don't need to further explain here because you guys understand what I'm talking about. And then excretion. Excretion is the process which you are disposing all those waste products and the unwanted substances that your body doesn't necessarily need anymore. So that's the urinary system. And last but not least, we have a system that is responsible for reproduction, for maintaining generations, and to the fertilization process occurs there, which is the reproductive system. So reproductive system, as I've just explained earlier, is to ensuring the survival of the species via fertilization and the reproduction of offsprings. So reproductive system, the fertilization between the two opposite sexes occurred and a new baby will be born. So that's all the human systems. The mind map, which I think is absolutely do wonders for our memorization, because you can test your knowledge by actually answering yourself and just to actively test yourself with these two concepts by recalling, okay, so what I already know about skeletal system, and once you read out loud, you write out some important concepts, you can open this to have some cues and some hints, and to check whether or not you actually understand what I'm talking about and comprehend my whole new lecture. So will actually send you guys this link here if you're interested in that. So just get access to that link if you want to learn more about this one, the human systems. Alright, so let's see what we have left. Wait a minute. Yes, we did look through this video, right? Yes, I do remember that. The 6 basic nutrients affect our body. Vitamins and nutrients and carbs and proteins. In fact, there's a standard. There's like an appropriate level of each nutrients, like which level is enough, is adequate, and which level is like over consuming and leading to more severe illnesses and like diabetes, or even obesity. Like you have to balance between these two nutrients in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Let me just do a quick research about this. Inappropriate diet. I mean, a balanced diet make more sense. How come I think of this word? A balanced diet. It's actually A, but whatever. Here, let's just click on the first website appearing here. So, eating healthy, balanced diet is an important part of maintaining good health and can help you feel your best. So, understanding and being aware of how to maintain and how to balance different components of your diet is extremely important, because nutrients and food is the primary source you are consuming in order to sustain your life. And if you over consuming or you're not consuming adequately any resource, then you will increase your chances of having a lot of serious health conditions. So let's figure out what is the ideal diet that you need to follow. I prefer looking at the pictures rather than just articles, cause so let's just take a close look at this picture, because the thing is kind of yeah, looks really engaging. So first, as you can see, vegetables account for the majority part of our diet. So there's always the reason behind why your parents and your grandparents just scold you for not eating enough vegetables, because they understand vegetables can actually do a lot of wonders for our health and for our bodily functions too. So here, the more veggies and the greater the variety, the better. Potatoes and french fries don't count, because potatoes, I think, are leaning more into the glucose proportion. So vegetables, you just need to diversify your diet with as many vegetable resources as possible. Fruits to, you know, fruits to veggies and to salads. Like, just try your best to diversify and to make your diet become much more nutritionist by including and incorporating different types of food. And don't stick to one permanently. Just try your best to change, just switch between different eating lifestyle and figure out which one works best for you and which one is the most effective, which one is based on your personal reference, which one you feel most comfortable with. And remember to drinking enough water. Okay, so I have to confess this with you, but I was scolded enough, like scolded a lot by my parents, especially by my mom, whenever I don't hydrate myself, or sometimes I suffer from dehydration, I don't drink enough water, and my mom is really serious about this problem. Because when you're not drinking enough water, because 60% of your body is containing water, right? And water is essential for pretty much every single functions of your body. And if you don't drink enough water, your body cannot function properly. You will suffer from tiredness, from dehydration. Oh, what's wrong? What is that? Oh, never mind. So I'm talking about the importance of water. Guys, please don't interrupt when I'm talking like this, because I am like in the flow of thinking about the particular topic and just jump in and interrupt my flow of talking. Then I will definitely forget, and like my memory about what I'm talking about will literally drift away in no time. So please try your best whenever I finish talking. If you have any more questions you want me to answer, or you want me to kind of like clarify, then just be more like respectful. I mean, not respectful, just to pay attention whenever I stop. I will give you a few seconds before moving on to another concept, and then at that time you can ask me any questions if you want to. Anyway, so I'm talking about the importance of water. So if you're like dehydrating and you're not replenishing the water that you lost from doing exercises, from sweating, then you will risk a lot of health related issues, especially breakouts. I have to say that. But if you don't drink enough water, then your bodies and your faces will filled with pimples and annoying acne, especially during your puberty process. Maybe you don't suffer that if you are younger, but if you are teenagers, you definitely have a lot of breakouts and pimples just popping on your face if you don't drink enough water. And you also slow down the growth process, because water definitely plays an important role in your diet too. So yeah, that's about water. And then we have the healthy oils like this, and then we have fruits, which also responsible, I think, the least proportion in this diet. But it's also important to maintain a healthy diet by having an adequate amount of fruits intake every single day, and also try a wide variety of different fruits, strawberries, watermelon, stuff like that. And then we have a healthy protein, which is fish, poultry. Like some typical protein resources you can take from is fish or peanut, or beans and cheese and milk, stuff like that. And also eat a variety of whole grains like bread, pasta, or brown rice. And remember to also limit refined grains like white rice or white bread. So I know that according to the Asian culture, eating culture, rice also plays a significant role in our daily life. Like you guys definitely, at least you guys will consume 3 meals full of rice, and it has stick to the Vietnamese culture for so long that our ancestors and our past generations definitely consider rice as the most important component. So I would not recommend you guys to stop eating and to, you know, how do we say it, cutting down on the rice, but try your best to cutting down the rice. I mean, not to stop eating all of them or to get rid of the rice altogether, but try your best to cutting down the rice amount that you are eating as much as possible. And try to diversify your diet, not just limit and restrain yourself to rice, but also to you know, different fruits and vegetables and then grains, stuff like that. So that's about the eating healthy lifestyle. And here we have a balanced diet here. We have let's just take a close look at this. 40% of this diagram of this pie chart responsible for fruits and vegetables. And then we have like 25% of them is carbohydrates, which is rice, bread, stuff like that. And then we have proteins, which also important too. Proteins like fish, eggs, and meat, stuff like that. And then 10% of them are fats. So that's the balanced diet. Ideal picture or a demonstration. Alright, so let's see what we have left. I think another concept that we have to tackle today is definitely sexual and asexual reproduction. So what exactly how to differentiate between these two concepts? Alright, so I'm just gonna go quickly through this because I really want to have a little fun and interactive game for the few minutes. I'm gonna save up for the few minutes at the end of the lesson to play some games because it's such a long time. Like the previous lesson, I forgot to spend and to allocate a little bit of the minutes before ending the lesson for some games. So just gonna quickly go through this. So really excited. And anyway, so sexual and asexual reproduction. Sexual basically is when two opposite sexes need to like two opposite sexes and genders are required to like need to fertilization occur and then a baby is born. Or maybe it doesn't matter, maybe sexual reproduction also happens and also takes place on animals or even on some plants too, like the pollination, right, from the female part to the male part, which I think is also a sexual reproduction technique. So it happens in all living organisms. But another uncommon technique of reproducing offsprings is asexual reproduction, which means that only a gender is required in this process to self-divide and then to produce offspring. Like a cell, our cell is the most typical and the most vivid example of asexual reproduction, which our cell will divide into two daughter cells and then it will just multiplying uncontrollably like that. So that's sexual asexual reproduction. And I think that's pretty much everything that we've learned in the previous 2 weeks about human body, animal, plant cell. So yeah, that's that. And we have like 11 minutes before class ends. So do I have any suggestions what we should do now? Maybe playing some games, if that's okay for you guys. Yes?
Blue cat.
Mm-hmm.
Play games. Can I out first? I have to let
Oh yes, are there somebody need to out first? I heard that.
Blue cat.
Alright. So I think Blocklet.
No. Yes.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Let me just log in for a few seconds.
Next.
Later, whatever. Discover, I guess. So, what do you guys want to play? Like, what theme? We have like animals.
Minecraft Mock Quiz. Hello. Lolo.
Animal.
Okay, I have just come up with a unique idea like this. Since you guys have all like different perspectives about which game should play, I decided to do
Yes.
a wheel.
Yes.
Oh, stop it.
Wheel of Luck.
Yep. And I'm just gonna wait a minute.
Oh shit. What?
Just gonna so we're just gonna type our favorite topics here, and then we will randomly choose one.
Maybe random.
Oh my god, these signs look so ridiculous. Whatever, I'm just gonna choose this one. So, which one do I suggest first? Let's just refer to the here.
Name animal.
Alright, so
Animal.
first is the animal. What else? Food, I guess. And then we have logo, right? I remember that we did this like once.
Disney character.
Disney character.
Alright.
Minecraft.
Interesting theme.
Minecraft. Disney.
I'm sorry.
Minecraft.
Wait a minute.
Minecraft.
Rainbow Friends.
Rainbow
Oh wait a minute. The maximum is just 5
Okay.
of them. The maximum is 5.
Chess. Chess.
Rainbow Friends.
Rainbow Friends.
5 is chess. Somebody suggested that. And we have like rainbow friends.
Yes. Yes.
Is this the correct way of writing that, or did I miss it up? Alright, so we have like 6 suggested themes here, and I will randomly, this spin will randomly choose the appropriate theme for today's, and I swear to you guys that this theme will never lie. So yeah, let's see which one is lucky enough. Fortune. Oops. It's apparently chess.
Yes. Chess. Finally.
I think it's not a very interesting topic to play here.
You is not a topic, but for me and
Oh, so
my
we have to follow the rule. Oh, we have to follow the rule because that's
finally chess.
so which let me see. Yeah, I'm just gonna choose this one, I guess. Oh, it's too easy. The chess.
Oh, it's easy. It's easy. It's too easy.
Yeah, I think this one is more appropriate.
The rook, the queen.
If you're so confident with your chess ability, then if you can ace this quiz, then well, I would definitely praise for your ability.
Bishop, rooks, and
Gold Quest.
Moshi,
Gold
knight.
Quest. Gold Quest. Gold Quest.
This one? This one or
Yes.
okay,
Yes,
so
Gold Quest.
alright. You're seeing you guys so enthusiastic with
Finally chess.
Wait a minute, what isn't working anymore? Let me just reprogram it again. There's some technical problems there. Oh my god, why is the Wi-Fi so slow today? I mean, like, the electricity here has just been cut down, and yeah, the Wi-Fi is significantly slowing down in the speed. so it's sometimes annoying to me. But yeah, let's just host the game. Alright, so I mean solo, right? Yeah. Let me copy this link, copy joint link, and paste. Whatever, I hate chess. Guys are literally detesting over chess. Yeah, I mean chess definitely sucks, but because the wheel has pointed the chess out, so I have no choice but to do that. But don't worry, because the coming lessons will also have more options too, apart from chess, of course.
Can you show me the ID or the screen you're sharing?
I just sent the ID already on the chat box.
Can you try clicking in it?
I had to enter the IDs.
We done.
Alright. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just. Wait me a few secs. I need to. Let me resend the link, because apparently there's something wrong with it. Yes, chess definitely sucks. But because
What is the
guys, come on, please join this. We have like 7 people here, 8. I think that the upcoming lessons, I would not incorporate chess into the spinning wheel anymore, because it's already once a day, which I think is unfortunate for most of us, because you guys definitely like don't like chess like me. Like you guys definitely dislike chess, and it's totally relatable, because I also definitely dislike chess. I know why people are just so passionate about it, but chess is so complicating and so difficult to understand. Like I have one of my younger brother who is 4 years older than me also love playing chess, and once time I came across him while playing chess, and it totally made my just blow up, because chess rules so complicating, like what's going on. But anyway, yeah, please change the topic. um okay, so I have this thing going on my mind. So right now, if how many of you guys advocate to change the topic, and the more of you guys advocate that, I will maybe choose to eliminate that, maybe.
Change the topic. Please change.
We change the topic.
I don't like chess.
He's the only
I
boy.
hate chess.
Alright, so the majority of people decided to change the topic apparently. So yeah, I think that I haven't changed the topic, and I forgot to set the rules like this. So whenever the spinning wheel like land on any option here, I will ask how many advocates, how many people support for this theme, and if the majority decided to choose this topic to play, then that will be our game. But we have to rush up, because I have 1 more minute before my writing class starts. But you guys can definitely play, because I will. Okay, whatever. So let's start again. I'm so sorry. So yeah, chess doesn't receive much support apart from.
What the fuck? Why you brought chess? Rainbow fan, please.
But you're the only
Rainbow Friends.
you're the only student here supports for chess, and we need to require the majority of people advocate for this option.
Rainbow Friends, please.
No rainbow fan. I hate chess.
Let me just spin the wheel, and if it's land on anything, if the majority of people support this option, then we will choose this. And we just keep spinning until people choose that. Oh, maybe food? Probably? Yes. So how many of you guys want to play the food game? Nope. There's so no answers here. Alright, okay, so yeah, unfortunately food is officially eliminated. So it leaves us with 4 contestants, which is this thing. So I'm just gonna spin the wheel and to see which one would be lucky enough for the game. Animal. Let's see. Do you guys feel like comfortable with this option or not?
I'm now uncomfortable.
Logo.
Rainbow
Logo.
fan are awesome.
Logo.
Chess, what do chess?
Rainbow fan, no just alike in class.
Those don't like chess, aren't you?
Logo.
Alright, so wait a minute. How many of you guys want to play the food theme? Please raise your hands.
Wait, what? Wait.
I don't see any raising hands here. Okay, so
Return. I don't remember what to see.
Logo. I just think rainbow fan.
it is animals.
Logo. I don't know what rainbow friend is.
Yes, me too. I absolutely have no idea what it is.
It's
Logo.
a game. I like the rainbow fan. Sound like fun.
Okay,
Logo.
okay, so we would spin the final round. And if it land on anything, I don't care whether or not you guys support it or not, but we would definitely land on this option. This is the final, the ultimate one. Because if we just keep doing this, this will be very time consuming.
Please, rainbow fan, please.
Disney characters.
No.
WTF! No!
Alright.
Why did you do that? That is so ugly.
It's so fuck.
Then why do you guys suggest this in the first place? That's so ridiculous.
Why did Wajang Chan want to do a kindergarten toys thing?
We are not kindergarten. We are grown up.
I heard a lot.
We
Okay,
are
okay.
elementary school kids.
Wait a minute. So I think that this is the 2 most support options here. A lot of you guys are in favor of logo.
and Rainbow Friends.
So yes, it's really competitive. So let's see
Nice.
which
We play chess.
decision will be made. I really hope that it's
And
We rainbow fan, please.
maybe Rainbow Friends I support now. It's our chess.
also
Yes!
guys, calm down. Okay, so Rainbow Friends is apparently
Maybe.
how many of you
Yes.
guys support Rainbow Friends?
Rainbow fan. Rainbow fan, yeah.
I don't know
Maybe
anything
I
about
support-
this.
But I still like chess.
What is
No,
rainbow
just
friend?
alike in class.
Alright,
I don't know what is rainbow friend.
you me too.
You didn't play Roblox, don't
Just
you?
game on
I play Roblox.
fan, you know that.
I never have played this one.
Oh, is a game
I
on
play-
Roblox?
I don't know
play
anything
Roblox.
about this.
Okay, guys.
I have played Roblox and I know it.
Hey,
I play
you
thousands of times.
say just chapter 2, no chapter 1.
Oh, here.
Blue. Really?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, please.
Please,
The newest
not
chapter.
rainbow friend.
Chapter 2.
Which
Chapter
one?
2.
Chapter 2. Chapter 1.
We play Roblox and we know about Rainbow Friends, don't we?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 1.
Oh,
Two.
chapter 1.
Okay, so
Chapter.
in case of that, we have to refer to the Wheel of Luck again.
Wow, so boring. I already want
I think we have to use that word. That is so random.
I don't know what is Rainbow Fair.
Yep.
And I know
I
it.
know that.
I don't know anything about it.
Apparently, it's
Don't
like kind of a
check it.
game.
Most of you we have to.
We literally choose food.
I think that we're gonna choose chapter 1.
Maybe. Chapter 1 is still okay.
Chapter 1 is not famous anymore.
Chapter 2 is the new
Yeah,
one.
if you be in chapter 2, when chapter 2 is not finished, you must play chapter 1 maybe 1,000 times. Or
Chapter 2, I don't think chapter 1 will get the point because
chapter
it's not very
1,
famous
chapter
at all.
2,
I literally have only 2 veterans in chapter 1.
you want to know those or.
Okay, so I am not passionate about games, stuff like that, because my mom never allowed me to do that. But whatever. So I don't know what you guys talking about, like chapter 1, chapter 2, but because I cannot decide. Okay, I cannot decide. A lot of people have different opinions about which one to choose. So I think just ask the spinning of wheel. Is that okay, or do you guys make up your mind yet?
I think chapter 1 is like old school now.
Yeah, chapter 2 in a new story.
So you guys are supporting chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 2, yes, it's
Yes.
the new chapter.
Okay, so we will land on chapter 2 then.
Here is already here.
Whoa,
It's
Rainbow
update.
Fans. Cool.
Yes, update.
Which
Yes,
one?
update.
This one?
No, the third one.
That one.
No,
Yeah.
the fourth one.
And
Fourth one.
The third
Yes,
one.
that one. That one.
Jade.
this is about the characters, supposedly say that.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe this is not good at all.
These are not the real
It's just dress in
characters.
colors. It's just dress
Yeah,
in colors.
it's like
It's
that.
a ripper.
It's just colors, so don't worry.
So play or not.
Yes.
Wait.
No, I don't know.
Yes.
Color yellow bean. Cold
Fine.
down. Yellow.
Gold quest. Gold
We
quest.
decide to play.
Quest.
Tower of
Zoom.
Wait a minute. Which one do you guys choose? I'm confused.
Gold quest.
Blood-
Gold quest. Gold quest.
Tower of Doom.
Oh my god, you guys have
Quest.
so many diverse like
Gold
opinions.
Quest.
I cannot choose one. Okay, so
Can we
who choose
play about racing? I never play it.
Grayson?
Racing.
Gold
Racing.
Quest.
Gold quest. Gold quest.
Gold Quest.
Quest.
Okay, so let me just do this trick. My mom told me to choose this one. Tower defense. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
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 No.
Yeah. Okay. I have played that.
Okay.
Tower defense is so boring. I'm
Don't do tower defense.
I like defense. I like defense.
You can watch anyone play.
Map selection. Like we have to choose different maps
No.
or something.
Why did you choose the defense?
Because my mom told me to choose that. Which one do you guys want to choose? Centimeter.
The third one.
The third one.
First
one.
The third one. Gold quest,
The
please.
third one.
Okay, I need to rush now because it's my writing class time schedule now. But yeah. So yeah. Send this link. There we go. So you guys just feel free to play this game and
Where's your ID?
copy joint link. Let me resend this.
Vào đi nhím.
Có ID đấy còn gì. Cái ở dưới ấy. Cái ở dưới sẽ có ID. Sao?
8 people already.
Giữ rồi. Để xem. 601
Excuse.
531 4.
Alright. 8 people.
Hey, where is the link?
I sent it on the chat box. Can you see it?
Oh, I can see it now.
Alright.
Oh, that is. Oh, we had to great rock.
So can I start now? Like, straight away. There's no time for waiting anymore because you guys literally spend too much time to deciding over which game theme to play today. So I'm just gonna start now.
Yay!
Alright, start. So, yeah, just...
Come on. Oh, so boring with this Scarlet.
Yeah, man.